Dear students, how are you? I'm Professor Najib Ghatte, and today we are going to understand what you mean by the term electronics. Students, when you hear the term for the very first time, the definition goes field of science and engineering which deals with the motion of electron under the influence of applied magnetic and electric field. Okay, let's try to understand this definition in much more greater detail. Field of science and engineering deals with motion of electron, influence of applied magnetic electric field. Means here we have to apply the magnetic or either the electric field, and then we have to check how an electron moves. The question do arise, why do we speak about electron? There are protons, there are neutrons, but why only electron? But why only electron? That we have to understand. Before moving forward, let's try to understand what do you mean by matter. Anything which has mass and occupies space is known as matter. Matter is divided into molecules without changing its identity. Example, a water is a matter. A water comprised of water molecule, H2O, is a molecule. Now, this H2O molecule can be further divided into atoms. For example, hydrogen atom and an oxygen atom. Let us consider a structure of a sodium atom. So here I have a nucleus wherein there are 11 protons and 12 neutrons. And in order to make atom and electrically neutral, we require electrons. So how many electrons are there? Obviously, 11 electrons. So electrons are distributed or spread in such a way so that they start moving in a circular fashion. The circular fashion, the circular path in which they move is known as orbits. So here we have the lowermost orbit as first orbit having 2 electrons. Then you have second orbit having 8 electrons, and the last or the outermost shell having last electron, the 11th electron. Okay. Now the question arises, how does this happen? So for that, let's come to this table. Now in this table, as you can see, we have total 3 orbits. So we say this is as my orbit number 1. I call this as my orbit number 2, and I call this as my orbit number 3. So if you see here, this is a nucleus. Nucleus is positively charged. This is nucleus. The shaded portion is nucleus with positively charged. And to this nucleus, the first electron, the electron in the first shell is very much closer to the positively charged nucleus. So obviously, you can have more force of attraction. So what I can say, in the electron in the first orbit have more force of attraction, a very large force of attraction to the nucleus because it is very much closer to the nucleus. And obviously, since it is having very large force of attraction to the nucleus, so obviously it will be having very less own energy. Self energy is very less. Fine. Now, for example, suppose if we talk about an electron in the second orbit, right? So you can see here, if you talk about electron in the second orbit, it is very much away compared to the electron in the first orbit. So I say the force of attraction to the nucleus compared to first a little bit less. So I say this is having less force of attraction, and energy increases. So here energy will increase. Fine. If I talk about electron in the last shell, the outermost shell, that is electron in the third orbit. So you can see here is as it is having distance has increased, the distance has increased of the electron with in reference to nucleus. So obviously this will have a very lesser or least, you can say, least force of attraction, and energy will be very high. Energy will be high. Fine. Now let's take the first column and let's take the third column, and let's try to draw a graph in terms of that in order to get a better understanding. Okay, so let's try to draw a graph. So I say this is my x-axis, okay, and this is my y-axis. Fine. On x-axis, this is the surface of the nucleus. On x-axis, this is the surface of the nucleus, the nuclear region, which we have drawn here by means of red color. Okay, so this is my surface of nucleus. I call this as surface of nucleus, which is positively charged. Fine. Okay. And now, if I talk about energy of an electron, energy of an electron, energy of electron in orbits. This, for example, is first orbit, this is second, and this is third. Fine. So first orbit is having very less energy. Fine. So I draw my diagram over here, somewhere over here. So I have, say, this is the energy of an electron in the first orbit. So I call this as n equal to 1. But if you talk about energy of an electron in the second orbit, it is increasing. It is increasing. So I say this is increasing. So this is at n equal to 2. It has been increased, right? And if we talk about at n equal to 3, energy is very, very high. It is somewhere over here. It is somewhere over here. N equal to 3, right? Okay. I hope you're understanding. Fine. Now, let me ask a very simple question to you, sir. Like, for example, suppose I want an electron. Obviously, why do we want an electron? Electron, because so that I can make that electron to flow as per the influence of the applied electric field or the applied magnetic field. So do you think an electron in the first orbit will follow the trajectory that what I want? No. Why? Because an electron in the first orbit is having very less energy, and the attraction is very high. So when the attraction is very high, I need to provide more and more energy to it so that that person can move. Fine. So obviously, it won't be possible for me to get an electron from the first orbit to get dislodged and start moving as per my will and wish. Can I have for the third? Yes, it is possible. Why it is possible, sir? Because third electron is that electron which is having very high energy, high own energy, and the attraction with the nucleus is very less. And the attraction with the nucleus is very less. So it can be moved off very, very easily. Fine. This is what we call it as like how you make an electron to move. Fine. Sir, is it possible to have a proton? No, not possible, because proton is in the nucleus. So if you want to get proton, first you need to break the nucleus. And in order to break the nucleus, you need to carry out a fusion kind of reaction. And this reaction is a very, very energy. You require more energy. It is very energy consuming. You require more energy in order to break the nucleus. So you can't afford it. That is the reason you always go for electron, that which is available in the last orbit. So we call this as a valence orbit, because here this is the electron which can actually move out or can be dislodged. Fine. So I hope you understood why do I speak about electron. So here it is now very much clear that it is a field of science and engineering which deals with the motion of electron under the influence of applied magnetic and electric field. So now I hope you understood why it is electron, why not proton or any other electron. It is only electron in the outermost shell. Thank you very much.